Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another Crypto Writer Roundtable with my good friend Corey and myself. And I'm super excited about today's roundtable because we're going to do the first of its kind, really, and we're going to talk to great city builders of the Uplift world. There's a lot of great builders. Corey and I pop in and see them when we can, but I like the idea of putting builders of similar styles or similar things together and just letting them have a conversation, because they have all got probably different techniques, and I think this will just be really fun. So we've got a couple people on the line, and hopefully a couple more joining. We have a Small Town Cowboy, who is designer, architect, builder of Lad City in Genesis, and we have Stell Smith, who is architect, designer, and builder of Shift City in Genesis. So that's pretty fun. Hopefully we've got a couple more people coming on the way that we can engage with. But how are you guys? Welcome. And I'm really stoked about this, Corey. I think this is going to be super fun.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what these guys have built is mind-boggling. It really has become this standard for what's possible. And every time I fly through these things, and I'm sure we'll talk about it as we go, but like there's so many possibilities for what we're going to be able to do with these kinds of cities sort of by the end of the year, right? There could be mini regions in all the buildings. The Punchline Get thing could make that entire cityscape like a gamified experience where things are happening with, NFTs or with tokens or with, anything really outside of the game, because people are going to be able to read those events in a meaningful way at Uplift events at that wax count. So anyway, but just seeing them, it just reeks of opportunity to me and creativity. Like remember the first few times we started seeing what Gary was building at Boyd. And I remember when STC Small Town Cowboy was started building on the Lads plot, I was like, this isn't real. You people are fucking insane. What? Anyway, so we're gonna go visit those things. But as is our custom, we're gonna throw up some gratitudes first, and then we'll go over. Gary has joined us. What's up, Gary?
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I got distracted by Corey's 1 million Upliftium wall.
Yeah, I'll go down and take a look at. We're right there. I'll go down and take a look at it. So
we're right next.
By we, I mean Gary added an awesome.
Quickly before the sun comes up.
Oh yeah. All right, Gary, what are you grateful for then?
I am grateful for this roundtable. I think it's a brilliant idea.
Hold on, I gotta do. Yeah.
Does it fit?
Yeah, I like to do build or like hodl because I'm an idiot. All right, STC.
I'm grateful for the opportunities that the Uplift has given me. A year ago, I hadn't built anything really in Minecraft, and it's unleashed some creativity inside of me that I never knew was there.
Has it ever? I can't wait. With that context, I can't wait to get over there. Your volume is a little bit low. I'm not sure. You can just like wiggle some wires or something. Stealth Smith is fun to say.
Smith, yeah. I'm grateful for the writer community. So, everyone in the Telegram over there, they're always very welcoming. It's a good bunch of people over there.
Cool.
Always a lot going on. Always a lot of laughs to be had. A lot of memes. Memes are always good.
Right?
Yeah.
Jimmy.
I'm grateful for amazing Uplift city builders.
Corey, it's been 5 months, and this is the first time I make it to the Gratitude Tower.
Really?
Seriously?
Yeah.
What is wrong? What is wrong with us?
That seems ridiculous,
right? Yeah. So, for those of you that don't know, Gary was a designer and architect of the Boyd plot. We introduced the others before, and also the designer of many things, Uplift, including probably where we're headed after this.
Yeah, I'm grateful for Gary today. I'm glad you're here today. Sorry it took 5 months. But not only so we have to go through the cities, but I got to show you guys the Portal Hub too. If you haven't seen it yet, that is basically I think like 99% Gary, and it has dramatically exceeded my expectations for what's possible there.
It's amazing.
So, yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
Da, 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 da.
Wow, it's getting really full.
Oh yeah, look at that.
You're gonna have to build more.
Right. So yeah, if any, and I was told by the Tuttle, if you're on the list, if you put your sign up on there, you're still on the list. Like, we're sending stuff out today. We know some of it's been delayed for the 1 million Upliftium crystallized NFTs, but if you're on the list, you're good. So just give us a day or two. Obviously, if you haven't received it in a couple days, just fire in a support ticket with all the details, so we'll get you sorted out. But yeah, just getting some stuff on there. I want to see from the other end. Wink.
Yeah, and this was built, by the way, by Ben, who did a really good job.
Right. That is some solid freaking work, homies. So many beams.
Beams of light, right?
Highly excessive amount of beams, but yay rainbows. All right, cool beans. So where do you guys want to go first?
Well, let's start at the top left corner. Let's start with Shift City. Let's
Done.
Let's just
Headed there
work
now.
our way
Let's
around.
go.
You guys can see all the coordinates further up in the chat for the Shift City and Lads and Boyd and hopefully 01 Capital. Yoakum's running late. He'll be here soon.
Cool.
So these are all in Genesis, and these are all just basically cities. So I'm curious, like I guess Shift City, makes sense because.
This is my favorite part.
Right? Yeah.
The railroad bridge. I really love this one.
This isn't only your favorite part. I've heard that this is the thing that you're most proud of, Smitty.
And yeah, Sean wanted me to. So we've got a nightclub that he went to in Berlin. And we'd always talked about building the nightclub, and then we were kind of like, hey, why don't we build the bridge that's next to the nightclub? So it kind of just expanded from there. So yeah, the bridge came together really well, actually, and we put a couple of signs up in there. So I thought we could do our own kind of community gratitude wall where we could eventually put, some people from the writer community's name up on the wall. Because I think.
Did you ever think that you were going to have such a nice view on the city from here?
Yeah.
No, so it was something that
Was
kind
that
of.
intentional?
It was unintentional. Everything I've pretty much done has been unintentional.
Yeah, so
very,
one of my favorite things about this build that some people might not know is that you basically took it from one picture and then you built it out from there. And I think that's like what's super impressive to me. Like, how did you get all of this from one picture? And like the depth and the scale to me looks almost perfect. So like, if you wouldn't mind sharing at least one secret of your thousands.
I guess Sean sent over the picture of Finney's arrival. So that was the artwork done by Lars, which is really good.
Yeah.
And it has Finney on the hill where he lands with his spaceship. So I started off with Shift Tower because Shift Tower is going to be, the main attraction of Shift City. So I had to start off with that. And we wanted that to be the biggest in the whole plot. So I had to basically set a scale for that for the other buildings. A lot of it was just building straight pillars up into the sky and going back to the hill to see if the perspective looked right. A lot of the buildings actually I've built up, a wire frame, I guess. You can see some in the background now. I'd build the wire frames up and then I'd stand back and get a perspective, and I'd end up destroying it again and moving it a couple of blocks over until it looked, pretty spot on. Just to, really get that perspective in. So it's it was quite hard off that artwork, because the artwork's obviously cartoony as such, so it's not built to scale either. So yeah, trying to
even
nail
this, dude,
those
like,
first
come
perspectives.
on.
Yeah, so there's little shift logos everywhere around the
Right.
city. Because it's Shift City, so he's got to make his mark everywhere.
One
So
thing
we
I
actually,
noticed is that you build a tunnel somewhere not far from here, but
Yeah,
it
so
isn't a
there's-
real. It's not a real tunnel. You can't go in.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's something I'll probably build a little bit later on. Once everything above ground's built, yeah, we'll probably work on building something underneath to maximize that.
Nice.
I love the Lars's office.
Right.
Anybody who's seen Lars on our stream, he's got he's sitting in what looks like, when he does streams of this, he's sitting on what looks like a completely and totally fake, old timey, background office kind of thing. Only it's 100% real,
Yeah.
which is really cool. And this is what this office ends up looking like. And there's apparently no fly-in entrances.
There
Right.
or there might be some blocks broken on one of the corners.
Just go inspect. Just go inspect the
Maybe around
remote.
the other side.
Just go inspect the remote. You can go in.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah,
is probably
so-
one of my favorite parts in the whole
There you
in
go.
the whole on the whole
Much
block,
better.
because this is just
the
so
whole
good,
Yeah.
right? And
No,
like I know Scrons is in the comments, and like one of the ideas that Scrons has was he wants to do a fashion show, which I think would be really fun. And I think like we should actually do it in
Good idea.
here, just because there were definitely some dark pinup pictures taken on that desk.
Yeah.
Also, it's S for Shifty, not Superman.
Yeah, yeah, S for shift. So I recently kind of redone the office for part of the story that's coming out. So yeah, we had to renovate it a little bit, but we've still got Lars's desk there. Got the little bottle of whiskey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and obviously, the rug was a bit of a. Sean's given me a lot of creative freedom, so obviously building
This-
something off the artwork,
This is
it's
so cool.
you got to add little touches everywhere. And that was one of the things I thought I could build a spiral staircase to the top, but that's kind of boring. So make it big and
Yeah.
big and over
that's-
the top.
I like that.
So yeah, when I was building it, I actually had it a different color, and Sean's like, just think about what Trump would do. So imagine it's Trump's tower, so everything was gold and had to look really fancy. We've got lots of billboards around the city too, so we'll have some
How'd you
artwork
get-
going up
How'd
on
you do
them.
these letters?
So the letters are custom Minecraft heads, which you can
Yeah.
import. So when I first started, one of the guys was giving out little Ethereum logos, and I kind of got him to tell me like, how'd you do that? Because I wanted to put like a Finny head or a Finny coin in there, and there's websites you can go on, you can get custom Minecraft heads, and you just load them in, and it just changes that head texture. So
Yep.
which they're really good because you can add little levels of detail too that's not normally present with normal Minecraft blocks, because they're quite large blocks, so it's really hard to get that fine detail in.
I think Jen uses those as well in her artwork.
Yeah, yep.
Whoa.
For me to know as well, because we've been trying to think of some way how you get those letters or how
Hell yeah.
you find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really well done too. I really like this part. This is their little like gratitude park area, which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
That's actually a good question. Is there a gratitude wall?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
right there.
So
It's,
that's
this
that's
is
it
it.
there.
Ah, okay. I didn't see it. Sorry.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I
Well,
think
that's where we
Yumi's
should
got
have done
some
more
up there.
gratitudes. Corey, you
That's
should
good
add something.
stuff. What's that?
You should
they're-
add something.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I haven't been added this spot. I don't want to change anything.
We don't. I can probably load it up if you want. We can go and add something.
I mean, I think I have admin powers here. I just like
Okay,
I'm not gonna
yep.
touch anything unless I have
I was
permission.
going to say,
You know what I mean? Like
you
I
just don't want to break
could-
stuff again,
I
right?
could. Well, I definitely don't want to break anything. But I also like, that the permission thing is like it's really sacrosanct to me. Like I don't want to mess with it, right? Like we've got those powers, but we're not going to use them. So if you just say you have permission, I'll be like, cool, I'll do it.
Yeah, go for it.
All
Go
right.
for it. You got permission. Let's add some signs up.
Let me close my eyes. Hang on.
Yeah, don't look at anything. And I'll use the same. Make sure I'm using the same color sign. I think I am, but.
You just increased the value of his land by 1,000.
No,
What? Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm not that cool. All right.
Very nice.
Fancy. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that feels like a legit honor, man. Thank you for that.
That's cool. Thanks for signing it. That's really cool. Yeah, a lot of it.
This
A lot of
is
the parking
rad.
stuff was kind of just creative freedom. Really, Sean just kind of let me go ham on it.
No
Yeah.
parking.
I think people are going to ask you now, Corey, whether that's actually going to work in Dish Out BTC. The
What's that?
ATM.
Yeah, like punch sign get Bitcoin. Okay, for the record, we could absolutely make a wrap Bitcoin drip once the punch sign get thing is on. It'd be like a penny worth of Bitcoin, but who gives a shit?
Yep.
In fact, like let's do that, just to show people what's possible, right? The sewerage.
The sewerage. So the plan was with the city to make it as immersive as possible. So everywhere you turn, every corner, every room, there's something to look at, something to do. Nothing boring at all, really. A lot of signs too. So I improvised a bit there with the signs.
Right.
And I had to one of the members has got the plot on the outside of the city, so I actually put that loan sign. I made the text face his plot as well.
Nice.
So to not leave him out, but
Man, oh man.
All I can say is enjoy it before people start building around you.
yeah. Yep. That's something I did think of. I thought, but I think they've got some plots to give away around the city, so we're gonna, I think, try and get people to incorporate into the city so they can build their own buildings that lead into it, and I'll adjust the plot as I need to transition into their plots.
That's cool.
I think that'd be really cool to just keep expanding it.
Awesome, man. I mean, absolutely killer work. And like it's just the fact that it's like it's a living thing, like it's gonna be, that much more amazing in a couple months. It's gonna be, teeming with humans in 6 months.
Yeah,
and like that'll be good.
So I've done some giveaways of Finny coins too on the plot. So I've got a little coin that I hide around, and I share it in the Telegram group, and then people have to go in and find it. And the first person to send me a picture, I'll send them a Finny coin.
That's awesome.
So that's really that's a cool way to draw people into and get them exploring.
Yeah, man, we're so looking forward to when active rewards get turned on, because I think that like you guys are already kind of planning in advance for that, which is so awesome to see. This is cute. I don't know what's going on.
So that's another writer members. EOS World, that's his plot.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, he's played for a good couple of weeks now, and when he first joined in, I had to show him how to get to his plot. And he just recently got some images put up.
Baller.
Yeah, I like the compliment, to just being on the outskirts. It's super sweet.
Very nice.
Yeah, they come up really good.
You guys also on Twitter, I saw there was a really cool image that was posted of that plot today as well, that just flipped through like 10 images really quickly, and it was like a promo ad, which was really sweet, actually.
Yeah,
pretty awesome. So definitely go check out the Crypto Writer.
That's the Demetrius Pirate Land.
That guy's scary. Oh, there's like little zeppelins and stuff. Oh, is that
Demetrius?
It's
freaking love that guy.
That's
Gary,
Demetrius.
I'm trying to put out a tweet.
I gotta
tag you, but I don't know what your Twitter handle
Just
is.
same as my Telegram handle.
G.
I don't hate
Hobson.
these trees either. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Okay,
With an
it's
S.
not
A lot going on up here.
That's why I got it.
I did that on purpose. Sorry.
Mess me up.
These BLMs, they show up everywhere on the map, by the way.
Yep.
Who is that again?
Bullshit with land management, if I'm not
Oh, there you
mistaken.
go. They're everywhere. They bought like rail everywhere.
Fancy. All right, cool. All right, so SDC, let's rock and roll. 1700, 2600.
That city, right?
Yeah.
How am I doing volume wise? Am I okay now?
Still a little low.
Yeah.
It sounds like a weak connection somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a known issue. Sorry.
Yeah. I always seem to have audio issues at this end for some reason.
Okay.
I always
Yeah,
just
it's
took
got a
it
little bit
that-
better.
I always just
Okay.
took it that you just, your character by nature is enlightening, and
soft-spoken.
you just speak soft spoken
Yeah.
in wisdom. That's the
Yeah,
way I
just
always
tell everyone to lean in.
I'll take that.
Right.
do it.
So-
so good.
Lad City.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed.
Even just this. Like, let's start at the stacks. Welcome to the Ready Player One stacks. Like, I'm not showing, like, Lad City is unbelievable, but just this tiny little corner of it
Mhm.
kind of speaks volumes to me.
Well, in the back of my mind, it's that Ready Player One,
Right.
that I've got in the back of my mind. And to get to this part of the city, there's a little walkway when you go through, so it's hidden off one of the main streets.
Right.
So you have to seek it out, and it's that. I hope that when you pop through and you turn the corner, you see something totally unexpected
Right.
compared to how the rest of the city is looking.
Yeah, I almost feel like there's almost like you can reference a spot where you want people to start on your plot, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like I'm just gonna do some quick fly through so we get it all spawned in here.
Uh-huh. So,
I like the choice of materials in this city
Right.
and the attention
Whoa!
to detail.
I've never seen this one.
Yeah,
Is
some
that-
new stuff.
There's a great episode that we did about maybe 2 months ago as well, where a small town cowboy walked us through the plot and gave us some meaning behind, kind of the creative lore that he wanted to empower. So I definitely advise checking that out as well, because we probably won't get it through a lot of it. But yeah, I'm a big fan. We show this Lad City sign on the stream a lot. My favorite part is the central greenhouse area, obviously, because I just think that's really cool. And Small Town Cowboy said that he just built it because the world deserves green.
Hey man.
I built it because I realised there was very little green on the
Right.
plot. And this whole building that you're standing on now, it started that I wanted to build a tunnel, as you can see there. And after that, it was, okay, what am I going to do now? So I just kept adding to it and adding to it. And that's pretty much been my design philosophy. That I didn't really start with a plan, The first building that I built was the Lads Tower itself.
Yeah.
Because
I
we
remember
had
when
to
that
get
started going up, we were like, what the hell is going on?
Well,
We freaked out
came
a
to it
lot.
quite late. It was one of the lads, Asmodai, that sort of pointed me in the direction of Uplift. I've been playing about in my metaverse for a while and sort of learning the ropes we're building. And Asmodai had said, right, we've got an opportunity to get into the Uplift here, but we need to get something on the plot, quite quickly. So obviously, the Lads Tower is based on the Avengers Tower, but I started throwing the tower up, thinking, okay, and again, because I'm quite new to all of this, it was quite often I would step back and go, oh, okay, that looks quite good.
Right.
Once the tower was done, it was like, right, what am I going to do next?
Right.
So I had no real plan apart from I want to there's never been a true visualization of Lad City. It's talked about in Discord, and there are certain lore that goes along with Lad City, certain buildings that are talked about occasionally, and I was thinking, here's an opportunity for me, and having a complete free hand in terms of design. You know, there are no constraints. You know, we've never seen pictures of Lad City Radio, which is to your left right now.
If you go straight forward there, you just missed it. There was a
We're here?
blinking billboard there. See there at the end.
Oh
The
yeah.
attention to detail and adding these little things makes all the difference. Makes the city go a little bit more alive.
Well, and like here's like a cool
More
ass
broken
truck.
lights and stuff.
Well,
Right? Yeah, that's my second favorite part of the whole world is like actual cars on the road. I love
I
that.
really love
just,
that.
like,
And it
It's
does bring
good.
a bit more life to it, doesn't it? It looks, you know, it makes it feel like a bit more of a city. It's like the building site to your right, or just behind you now to your left. Again, every city
Oh,
has
yeah.
a construction site
Yep.
going on somewhere.
Yep.
You know, it was a bit of a cheat to start off with, but that's a good way of
Sure.
filling that plot.
No, I mean, like, name one city that doesn't have a construction city in the real
Exactly.
world, though, right? Like, it's
Right.
construction area. Like, it's perfect.
Even this.
Or a broken neon lamp.
But for me, and it may sound odd, there are parts of it that I'm particularly proud of, and it's not the big buildings. You know, it's not the big showy things. Over in the far right-hand corner is the lads' waterworks, because you know every city needs a water plant. But there's a door at the back of there that I keep going back to and just looking at going, and it's just a door, you know? But using the limited set of blocks that you have, that there are a few things that have turned out just quite cool. This is a motel within Lad City. There's a certain motel with a reputation, the Notel Motel. You know,
The No-Tell Motel. Nailed it.
there had to be a motel there.
I mean, it's a
Even this
thing
is
in
kinda
Japan.
zen.
They have love hotels because you know all the young people still live with their parents, so they need a place to go. Like in the West, we frown upon it, but like there, they even bring out little signs to cover up your license plate. So they really do have no-tell hotels in Japan.
Awesome.
Rooms
I remember
Right.
you guys asking us if this was a PG-13 server. I guess we had some
Yeah.
ideas. of
It
that.
is. Hey, where's this? Where's what direction do I go to hit that waterworks door
Right
you're talking
straight
about?
down the street ahead of you, right now.
Right here?
So down there, take a left at the end of these buildings. Yeah, take a left up there, then go
Oh,
around
that's
the back
cool.
of the waterworks,
Right?
and it's this door on the back of it that
Oh
Is-
shit.
a use of, you know, because you're trying to use the blocks that you have at hand. So that's basically grindstones at the top and the bottom that represent the rail that it runs on. And, you know, it's the little things like that for me that I go, wow, you know? Not
Yeah.
big flashy
that's cool.
buildings. You know? Is that side of it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
hangar
that's cool, man.
door. Very nice.
But I wanted to build a city. I want people, I know we can all fly about in this world, but I wanted a place that maybe forces people to hit ground level and walk about the city
Yeah.
and see it from that viewpoint.
We actually had that discussion the other day, right, Corey? We thought about what a world would look like if someday we actually do force people to walk around Genesis
Well, and-
a little bit more.
Yeah, one of the things that got requested is a toggle that you could flip for Upliftium, which would be a great Upliftium burn because a lot of people want to create like parkour kind of things and like different kind of mazes and stuff, but where you can't fly, right? Like it's a challenge because you have to actually sort of complete the thing.
Yeah.
And I like, you know, we have to look at it some more, but it's something that I'm really interested in doing, right? So like, you know, 100K for a picture install. Like I don't know what the toggle would be or whatever, but you save up some Upliftium and just flip the switch, and suddenly your whole, you know, your plot is no fly, and it sort of constrains it so that each region can kind of decide for itself what it wants to do. I kind of like that.
But what's really cool for me is I have a VR headset, and there's a program I think called Vivecraft. So
Yeah.
basically you can run Minecraft in VR. So I had the opportunity a couple of months back to put on the VR headset and stand in the middle of Lad City, stand on the street
Yeah,
and see
That's
this
cool.
360 world round about me.
right.
And look up at the sheer scale of the buildings that I've been, you know, building on for a while. And that to me was just slightly surreal, you know? I'm
bet.
standing in the middle of something I built. And if that becomes more mainstream, you know?
Yeah, I think
What we can
it's
do with
inevitable
this.
almost, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's definitely going to happen because, yeah, I mean, that's once you've been in VR and, I mean, you know, you get that placeness thing, right? I yak about this all the time. Like the placeness of the uplift, because we're leaning so heavily, like it's not just a game. Like it's like we're using Minecraft, but Minecraft isn't the point, right? The point is to have neighbors and to have something that you can you know build up and improve and have other people come and visit and gamify and right, like it's the metaverse. That's the whole idea. But that, you know, like the 2-dimensional screen that we're looking at right now, once you're in there, like even now, like I was talking to, I had 2 interviews a couple days ago. One was sort of like journalist dude, whatever, and the other guy, Quinn, who built the ice track, the boat race thing, or one of the first ones, if not the first one. Got this NFT writer in to come do an interview. And for that first one with the NFT writer, we actually went in game and hung out and, you know, went and saw the sites. And about halfway through, this guy's grinning like a psycho, like just he's in, right? Like because he's because he's there, or he's actually in the game. He's walking around the places there. You have that sense of place. And in the second interview, you know, I had just had to talk about it, right? And he's seen pictures and stuff, but you could tell he's not there. That placeness, you know, is not something that he groks yet at all, right? And it's funny because we're talking about the fact that Zuckerberg apparently kind of understands that, right? Like this metaverse is going to be the place where you meet people and things happen, which is awesome. But yeah, then you add VR, and that just sinks that level deeper, right? Like you get that other level of realism that becomes, to your point, STC, surrealism, right? It's like I built this and now I'm standing in it. What the hell? Right?
It is crazy.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So there's a couple of other buildings if you want to check out. We've got the Dollhouse. So off to the right, and you'll see end of that street, you've got the Dollhouse with the big sign out the front.
Yep.
But if you drop down and go in the front door of that building, or chuck a sign on my street.
Yep. Sorry.
Pardon me. See, that's such a beautiful city, and Corey just comes in here and starts littering.
That's a 60 or 50 and fine for littering.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Uplifting fines for littering. I'm all about it.
So this is the Dollhouse. Oh, okay. Down the stair, it's a nightclub that's talked about, you know, in the city. So how could I build a nightclub? A nightclub has to have a dance floor, you know. So this was, I had to teach myself redstone. You know, how do you do this?
Yeah.
You know? But also, there's an opportunity here for people to use the space that we're building as a backdrop. You know.
Yeah.
To come in and film within.
Right. Well, especially like you get an awesome picture, like some awesome lads picture up in the back over there. And these pictures here, like getting, because we were talking to. Who are we talking to, Jimmy? Sammy from Nova Rally, who's talking about, you know, building like a hall of winners for Nova Rally, where, you know, you actually get screenshots of the characters that win the races for them or whatever, or like the seasons even, and, you know, getting that up in a building in the Uplift and actually just having a record of it, right? So like that, you know, I hope you guys do that.
Well, and I had an interview this morning with Stefan from Dot Gems and EOS Nation, and they're doing like a graffiti art contest in another world that will all be taken down. But what they want to use their Uplift plot for is to like build basically a showcase for all the winners of these other like plots and tie them all together. So like the Uplift plot of theirs will be like the living museum of some of their other worlds, which I think is really brilliant too. So. But I like it like these. So these first 2 builds to me contrast like something very similar but very different, right? Because they're both like, you know, left up to the imagination, but like, you know, Shift City, you like the way the way that you had to like come back and keep looking at the hill for perspective, whereas like Small Town Cowboy was just like, okay, I'm gonna build this construction site because I'm not really sure what I'm going to build next. So if I build in the construction site, then at least I'm doing something. And I guess I'm thinking about construction. I don't know. I'm totally making fun of you, but I like it a lot. Like, so I think this is like really cool. And how this idea kind of came about was Corey and I were talking the other day about what would it look like if we did like
hang on, Corey.
Yeah.
Go to your video shooting platform as a starting point.
On it. I do have to show people
before you show all the jewels.
Yeah, I promise I will.
So
this Dune worm though, I don't know who built this, but kudos.
Yeah, it's good, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
we have some
What is
good
going on here?
neighbors. We have some good neighbors. He's a very big fan of Frank Herbert's Dune, and so the entire inside is a dedication to the Dune saga. This got like the signs you can follow on the there. That's the starting point.
Cool. We'll do that later on. We'll do that on.
Yeah, that's another video for another time.
Right. Kudos. All right, I'm just gonna fly around and like not show you guys anything.
So if you go around, you should try and find your video shooting platform.
Yeah, I know where it is. Yeah, I got it.
So yeah, while you do that, so the idea was that Corey and I were talking about was like, what if we had like a best builds type of Olympic situation scenarios? And right away, the one that popped into my mind was like Great Uplift Cities. So that's kind of where the show was born. I'd like to do this potentially for some other builds as well. Like I know some of the people in the comments have done some really amazing things. Rice, another crypto writer guy over there, he's built this like almost maze that you have to go through and like flip switches like to get doors to open and stuff. It's really impressive what he's done. So like I really think like these types of builds, putting these people together and seeing the contrast of different building styles, different inspirations, it might actually kick back. Like I won't be surprised tomorrow if I go into Shift City and I see a car on the road, right? Because I think that's a really good idea. I think I think that's really cool, right? But yeah.
So Corey, the first thing I did is the road behind you. If you go on it a little bit, like go towards those buildings. I mean, that's my neighbor, one of my neighbors who I really like the build style that he's using. But basically, that's the entrance, right? This road you just took if you go the other way around. By the way, you were asking the other day what that was. That's a broadcasting station. Also very nice builder.
Right.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, he did a good job on that one. So anyway, that road leads into the city.
Okay.
And the first thing I did, so go to the middle of the road and then view towards the city. First thing I did is I bought that land because I don't want that view to ever be ruined by anything else.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Because this is like
so this flat piece of land in front of you will never be changed because I bought it.
Nice. This is the way.
And I think that's going to happen a lot.
I agree. Thinking ahead, man, for sure. Hey, Yoakum, looks like your camera got on. That's awesome, man.
I did.
Hello, buddy.
Welcome.
Yeah.
So you're going to hear that a lot from all the builders. Everybody says the same thing. I didn't have a plan. I started with one building, and then I put another one, and then another one, and then it became a city.
Yeah. Did it ever?
Well, that's so. And there's something that is a little bit interesting when it comes to Boyd as well, because Boyd actually, this city was kind of designed in part around a concept that Boyd is working on together with Blockbase, which is a game, and the characters are basically, aliens in a sense. And so a lot of the lore that's going to come from the story or into the lore comes from this plot and some of the amazing things that Gary built in, actually, and vice versa, but more so the one way around the other. Most of you haven't read that story yet because the writer's been slacking and not getting his job done. Whoever that writer might be, I have no idea. But yeah, you can blame Jimmy. But we're working on it, and Gary came up with a lot of really cool concepts that will actually, that are actually elaborated and put into the lore, like the spaceship and things like that. And so what I can tell you is, like, basically one of the things that we decided that we were going to do is this was one of the first builds that was actually done before the servers or the sectors got separated back in the old world. And it's interesting because where it was before, some of the older photos that we have of it being in the old world is all surrounded by desert, whereas this one's kind of in the middle of the ocean. So there's a really neat tie-in there, whereby this is actually a replica of the original city, the original city that.
Don't mind.
Yeah.
It'd probably be a good idea if I narrate what he's showing.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Jimmy.
No, that's okay. I was just, no problem at all.
So anyway, the whole idea was to subdivide the area into 4 parts. One was showing off what Boyd was about, which is the bottom lower corner. One is all about power production, which is what you're looking at right now. Old kind of different type of power production. And then one was real estate. So we had this idea of fractionalized real estate. I'm hoping we'll be able to continue to work on that in the future. I think we're getting closer now with our on-chain events coming.
Yep.
That's going to help with that as well. Yeah, that's just a random robot.
Random
Star Wars
robot.
I'm a sci-fi nerd, so you're going to see a lot of these little tributes everywhere.
Yeah.
It's prone on my land. I'm really grateful for Jen for having put one of her murals in the bay next to this one, the second one
up here.
Asteria. It's one of her. I think it's one of her nicest, one of her best work as far as I'm concerned. But I'm biased.
Yeah, no.
It depends on the. It depends on the shader and the resource pack that you use, as everything. Just looks so much different during the day than during the night, and depending on what shader you're using. But this is a really nice piece. The idea was that, by the way, if you guys don't know what this is an eye, an all-seeing eye, and a star, and it fits well with the whole theme of the entire plot. And I was just joking with her and putting my eye on the other side.
Yeah, she wins. That is nice.
And by the way, this whole room is a tribute to The Expanse, the sci-fi TV series. It's one of their sets on their show.
Cool, man.
So there's a lot of little things like that. You might recognize it, you might not, depending if you see the show or not. And that's how it went from one place to another, just adding little pieces, tributes. And now people are starting to buy plots around us and doing their tributes to sci-fi. That's why you see the huge sandworm, and there's some others around me that are building. It's really nice. I really like that. So yeah, that's our NFT gallery.
That's good stuff. Taking screenshots like it's my job.
So yeah, it's not finished, of course. It's work in progress, as everything. I think it's probably going to take 10 years to complete.
Right? Yeah, I think. Man, I've been thinking a lot over the last couple of days about what
you guys are keeping me busy with the uplift, so I don't have time to work on my own plot anymore.
I know, right? I know, right? All right, so we gotta go check out Yoakum's build now that he's here. I remember you built that out of diamonds. We're like, so this world's never going to be survival. Oh,
yeah, this was before it was decided that this was going to be survival.
Right. And that's how we decided.
Again, though, my favorite part is just that docking bay with that spaceship right there in the center.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty.
Yeah, that's
pretty
tribute to Star Trek.
Right.
That's the Earth starbase.
Right. Well done.
By hand, no cheating, no world edit, all by hand.
Awesome. All right, so 2100, 1100.
Yeah, a try and die. This is like Minecraft and a metaverse, and that's why the Uplift world is going to do awesome things.
This is the spot on the map that has used the most TNT.
It's not done yet using TNT. There's quite a lot more to be used. But so what you've got there is, I think, one of the challenges, obviously, before you can see the city in all its glory, you need to go around and load the whole thing.
Yeah,
so it's very fast.
Start flying around.
So you need a lot of RAM and so on.
That's why I said he used TNT.
So
right.
This is what still like kind of where we are clearing out some of the last rubble. basically, but you can see that we're probably like the only piece that will be left standing of the original kind of build is essentially Corey's plate that he put up initially when I got this land plot.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's it, nothing else.
I remember too, like I think I still have screenshots, Joachim, of that day because I was like, oh man, you lucked out. This land is so good. And you were trying to tell me, like, yeah, this is all getting paved over.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's just gonna get nuked. So how do you want to do it? While you load that, do you want me to run you around the land on my screen a little bit, and I'll show you have different.
Oh yeah, if you've got it loaded up, absolutely.
I do. So I use different shaders basically because these are kind of this an RTX plugin that really helps with the frame rate and everything. So this is the original plate that Corey put up, and I remember this was all greenery, and there was a giant hill here. There's no more giant hill now. It's just a giant skyscraper basically. Yeah. I'll sort of first of all just fly around and show you the scope of it. So because this is again like probably 10% finished, so we put up a number of buildings. You might ask, why this dome? Why encase everything into a glass dome? And this is really not a dome, it's an arcology. So it's a sci-fi concept again, of kind of like self-contained mega cities on like multiple levels. And everything is going to be encased in glass. I'll walk you through some of the stuff I'm planning as well. You can see we've gone down literally to the very, 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 very bottom level here as well. So this is all underground, all to be developed, like, and all is going to be developed at one point. And the plan is really to like do this in stages. So first we land clearance, then putting up skyscrapers, buildings, and all that. Then layer on like all the redstone functionality we want with like doors that open, lights, all these types of things, and then kind of build out the multi-level city so that you have several levels up and down, and then finally build out the details, which are going to be like marketplaces and kind of buzz on the street day to day, and then finally putting up posters and so on. So as you can see, we have, this is an example. We try to experiment with different things. I mean, the idea is that at some point there should be quite a lot of people in the uplift, and they may not be able to fly around with godlike powers. So you will need water elevators that I'm sure everyone here is familiar with. So this kind of the inside of one building at the moment. Going down in a water elevator takes a little bit longer always.
Yeah.
So and the theme is kind of, it's not quite dystopian sci-fi, but it's going to try to be a little bit more dystopian. So I'm going to sort of add some dystopian elements in here. But
hey,
you obviously,
can I steal this for a second? I want to show these guys something.
Yeah, sure.
I'm like way up at the top, and this is like for anybody who's been watching our 3D, like we've been showing off the new 3D modeling for Genesis, which we'll have available for the rest of them before too long. But just like, this is just freaking gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's as you walk into the city, and what's interesting is like Corey, maybe. Oh yes, so. Maybe if you fly there, Corey, if you sort of elevate a little bit more.
This is the thing. Like, I wanted to actually walk through, because like this is the village at the top of the building, right? So I wanted to walk through a bit and kind of show you like we're still here. This is still the place, but it's got this like quaint, like a little boat. Like this is like really cool. And then
exactly, that's the point. So it's supposed to be slightly disturbing.
Yeah, right. It's like you're in. That was like I was playing around on the top of it, and that's why I went down to that glass thing over there. Because when you get into this perspective, you're just like I'm just in Minecraft, right? Like you don't really get the sense that you're at the top of an arcology. And also, like, this is where all the entities are in Genesis, in case anyone was wondering.
Yep. So all of these guys have beds, and they may be breeding as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What's happening. It feels like they're multiplying somehow.
This is definitely where all the villagers of Genesis are.
Right? It's not messing around. You might have some if this was a survival world, you might have a pretty intense economy around getting
Yeah. So there is also like an elevator. So there's one elevator, so you can go from the base of the 01 tower up into the village. I think it's somewhere here. It's not all finished, but you'll find the elevator entrance on one of the sides here.
It might be right over there. Hello, Iron Golem.
So yeah, that's kind of like the idea. I mean, what I'm planning on doing is to I have a couple of land plots that are adjacent to the main plots, and they connect and they're integrated. But so one of them is going to be a nuclear reactor with a lot of warning signs and proper like nuclear rods. There will be an end. Like this whole archaeology will have two entrances. One will be the main entrance, and it will be through the tower that's on the side, that's sitting on top of the rail plot on the side of the archaeology, and the other entrance will be through the nuclear reactor. And the nuclear reactor entrance will be quite challenging, so that there will be lots of traps and stuff. So you're probably likely to die if you go through that one. But that's all part of the fun.
Nice. Hey, where is that from here? Where's that original sign?
Oh, it's if you drop to the sort of mid-level there, the street level. So it's if you go to the red tower. The red tower.
Oh yeah, right there.
There it is. Yes.
It looks ridiculous.
It needs more sea lanterns.
More sea lanterns.
More sea lanterns.
Exactly. Can I throw a couple up?
Sure. Yeah. That's just one thing that I want to show also is the kind of the lower level city. So which I'm only starting to build on. And if you go down, so if you go straight ahead from there, basically, so if you go towards sort of exactly in that direction, and then continue advancing, and now turn to the right a bit. So just turn. Oh, sorry, turn to the left. To the left. Yeah, exactly. And if you go ahead.
Whoa.
And then if you let yourself drop down to the bottom level here.
Hold on, I need to take some pictures.
How many people are building this?
2. I mean, it's basically I'm doing it while I'm on like phone calls. It's just like instead of scribbling on the notepad, I'm just kind of building in Minecraft, And then I have a builder also who's building full time as well.
Nice.
So if you drop down here, just let yourself drop. And if you turn around, so yeah, if you turn around towards where I am, so hold on until you might see me in a second. Yeah.
I got you.
So if you can see here, so actually I'm building out kind of the underground kind of city, which will be like a buzzing marketplace and stuff. So you might see some more villagers here, but there's also a whole aquarium section. So which it's here, but it's going to be quite large. So quite a large part of the underground city will be a giant kind of aquarium essentially. But in there you'll have like underwater buildings, so you'll be able to access it through underwater tunnels.
Wow.
So yeah, so and then obviously playing around and experimenting a little bit with redstone and lights and stuff. And the sequencing has gone wrong here. I want to sort of work on that sequencing to get it to sort of I want the light to pulsate up and down the building in a sensible way, which is quite difficult to do. So yeah, there's some smaller touches that there's one disco floor as well here. Obviously need to add music to that as well, but it's on top of this kind of hotel-like building. Yeah, so if you go on top of the building that's straight in front of you, right now, so if you go straight ahead.
Sorry, I'm just like taking pictures. Going straight ahead. Heard. Is this one here?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, exactly. The one that's slightly to your left. Slightly to your left. Right?
Oh, this one here?
Oh, if you turn around a bit, yeah, that one. So not that one, the one that's slightly more to the left, to the right,
There
yeah.
you go.
That's it. And if you go to the top of that, so if you fly to the top, so I'm glad it's running okay on your machine, actually. So there we have this kind of a penthouse I'm building out. And then you got a 3D projection of a globe up there as well.
Right.
This reminds me of the cyberpunk city.
Yeah, it's meant to be, but it just needs to become much more dense than it is right now. So we have a lot to build still. There's only like a dozen buildings, and actually we probably need 50 to 60 buildings in here. So to give.
So basically, your plan is to like make this 5 times bigger.
Yeah, a lot bigger. Wow. and more multi-level as well. So the plan is really what I'm hoping for is, I'm really hoping for when like the Uplift goes mainstream and you start seeing like hundreds or thousands of people on the server, because that's what this is really built for, like to sort of accommodate like very dense kind of population.
Yeah, so on that note, I think that's a really good point, is like on today's stream, we have actually not just great city builders, but like some powerhouses of the blockchain crypto USIO economy, right? Like we've got Crypto Writer, who's like, they put out a ton of content. They do podcasts like this. Lads, who has built like this extraordinary community, basically building their plot off of this ideology or this lore that they had that didn't have a home. Boyd, who's been in it basically from the beginning, who is like using this amazing system to be able to reward users for providing like CPU and GPU that is spare on your computer to do like complex algorithmic calculations to like improve the state of the world by finding cures for cancer and other things. And 01 Capital, who is like a really big has a really big role or part in the UX network and compliance and bringing blockchain to the world in general. And this is going to be their metaversal home. And I think that in a sense is really amazing, that you have these amazing projects that have come in here and built, like Joachim said, dedicated servers, dedicated places where people can come, people can hang out, people can interact, people can learn in the future, where metaverses and blockchain essentially, become common, a daily part of everyone's life. And I'm really excited for those times, and I don't think that they're that far off if I'm 100% honest about it.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to mention, Joachim. So like one of the technical issues that has been occupying most of our time, I completely agree about. The end goal has to be about the population density, like actual players, actual human beings, being in the space and rubbing shoulders and doing stuff and whatever. The issue with Minecraft is it runs on a single thread. Right.
Yeah.
So when you're running a server, like everything that's going on a server, and of course we do one world, one server now, has to run through that one thread. So it's taking all the data in the game, everything that's changing, and trying to basically punch it through a straw, which is not efficient. So we're moving to AWS. We're going to be able to do some interesting scaling situations where we have more basically break the large places up into smaller places. Basically create more straws. But the team that we have, because we have a team just dedicated to scaling our server architecture, they're looking into some crazy experimental stuff from MIT that might get us into the millions. That's the end goal. And like the whole time I was flying through there, Joachim, I was like just imagining just people everywhere, right? Like every one of those floors of a building is a different storefront. Like legitimately, this is now a city, and Joachim is king.
Well, imagine you could have like I think every level of a city like this could probably have 1,000 players, and you can have like 50 levels. So it's quite it gets really interesting at that point, yeah.
Don't go too close, huh? They all work.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, this is Gary's Portal Hub. We're gonna
nice.
I'm gonna send you out here. So we're gonna change spawn. Like when you first enter the game, spawn is gonna be right here pretty soon, if it's not already. We're testing out some billboards. If you know any projects that want something up on there, have them call me.
Hey Corey,
cool.
you
We
should
should
do
just
that.
get like a sample up there at some point.
Corey, you should do that thing that you did yesterday where you went through one and then came back, because that's super fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. And yeah, apparently Gary was saying, because I asked him if he could do this. So like right now, the doors will just take you to the other worlds. There's no doors back yet. We got to work on that. But down here, these are all like builds that are in Old World. Some of you guys will recognize Cathedral 1.0, my amazing. It's not build, my very first build. It's
they all have a back door,
hilarious.
by the way.
Well, it's the
That's
first.
what you're saying, right? So all the ones that are in Old World now, you can come back.
They all have a yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
the ones upstairs, they don't need to. They just push you to another world.
No, I know, but then you should be able to come back to this world through them. They absolutely need them. Not
maybe.
today, but they do.
Maybe.
I
That's
assure
another
you,
discussion.
it's inevitable, and they for sure do.
That's more complicated.
Yeah, no, I know. I know it'll take more time. I'm not in a rush to get that done. So anyway, boink.
Hey,
Oh,
cool.
hello, Blue Room.
So one more question, Corey.
Yeah.
How difficult would it be to like increase the rendering distance on the server by quite a bit?
It's the same problem.
Same problem.
Right.
Oh, everything runs through one thread, basically. Like
Right, and so that rendering distance is basically, if we increase that render distance from our side, then what we're doing is multiplying the amount of data that's going through the straw by the number of players that are in the server.
right.
So it becomes exponentially more of a problem. But I just love. Thank you, Gary, for doing this. Boink, and we're back. Although I do think like the picture that we see should be where you land. You know what I mean? Like the screenshot could be right there, until like you're gonna beam right back into this. Is that crazy?
I know.
Okay.
I know, but my
again,
idea
we just
was
got this working
my
yesterday, so it's fine.
Corey, my idea was that you get pointed at this wall, which shows you where things are, where the portals. I mean, it's probably going to be a picture eventually, and not a bunch of signs. But really, you need to know, because most people remember this is meant to be also the place where new players come in for the first time. They've got no idea where to go, what to do, etc.
Yeah, but that's why like
So
if we took this as a screenshot and made
I
this
can do that.
right, because then it's kind of covers both things. Just
I can make the way back upstairs. It's absolutely no problem.
Well, I think having coming back here, I think makes a hell of a lot of sense, right? Because you're touring all those different things. It's just when you see the hallway and then you come through and you see this, that's like it like ruins the realism a little bit.
The challenge, and you will see that the challenge is to put a back door that doesn't look out of context with respect to where you are.
That's pretty cool.
Right. So this is our Legend headquarters, and I had to someone forced me to put a back door back, but it looks really odd in the middle of the desert to have a back door. So you have to kind of incorporate it as much as you can.
Amazing.
Well, it's not amazing, but
yeah, you're gonna walk into the hall and then bonk. Wait a minute, that's not.
I know. I did that on purpose to annoy you.
Gary, fucking piece of shit. No, but
just for you, I'm gonna put the spawning point right into another door that just pushes you into another.
It's like a constant endless loop. I'm like, oh, Corey's lost. Has anyone seen him for the last week and a half? No, he's still in Gary's loop. Damn it!
It's his payback for all your sea lanterns on his back.
Nemesis should work.
Fair.
Nemesis should work as well, but only if you jump from the middle of the drawbridge.
Yeah, I love this one.
So we didn't manage to get it to work when you jump in. Unfortunately, I wish it was that simple. But you just go forward and then jump from here. Oh, yeah, there you go. So that pushes
that's cool.
Speaking of Nemesis, our most recent Easter egg contest is happening. I think it's the third one now live, which is Nick's story. So if you go over to Atomic Hub and you find a mythic Nick Miner and scan the QR code on the back, it will take you to the place to start the riddles. And when you complete the riddles, you will be gifted or rewarded a small coin with no economic value, but might have some potential to play into everything that we're building in the future. So I definitely recommend that you do that. We're going to do one for every single mythic miner. from our team that's out there. So
if you go upstairs, Corey, sorry.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
disrupt.
Oh.
no, it's okay.
The uplift logo, of course, is what you asked, is going to the cathedral, because we need to be able to go to the cathedral. That's very important. So go in there. That's the cathedral. Probably
Okay.
should change that with the picture of the cathedral. I'll do that.
Yeah, I think so. Even like
It gets you here. So I'll make a picture. I'll make a screenshot of that, and then on the right there, you can see that's the door.
Oh,
back.
the back door! Yay! Yeah, dude, I love the back doors. I really do. Thank you so much for working on that, because it just feels so much more kind of complete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'll change the spawning point. It's no problem.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's cool. But I do think we should change spawn to over here, like with the quickness, because it's just like this is too
Yeah,
cool.
just tell me where. Just tell me where. I didn't know where to put it.
Well, personally, I like the idea of when we get to the point where we can only use portals to be able to transport between worlds. I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. And having the cathedral as the central hub, having the maps on the walls, which I know you're working on as well, is going to be really interesting to pull all of these worlds together. And I think
This is how Corey assigns me tasks, by the way.
Yeah, welcome to our office meeting. Like that, this is how we roll.
The guy who knows nothing about technology.
He leaves me behind these signs that tell me what to do.
Pretty cool. Hey guys, I gotta jump and pick up some one of my kids. If
All right.
that's okay. So,
Yeah, no,
problem.
Yoko, thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you for building that crazy freaking city that makes us all feel.
No, it's a pleasure. It will get a lot bigger before you know it.
And Yoakum,
That's what she said. Sorry, Morton, that's your fault.
Yoakum will be in touch because one of the things that Cowie and I do actually is we do an in-depth 1 hour episode on the build, and we let you guys pilot. So I'm really hoping to bring you on.
Oh, that's super cool. Like one of the things that I'd like to do in the city is to do some like treasure hunts and so on. So
Yeah.
I have a plan for making the thing a little bit like a labyrinth that you have to sort of go through, sort of solve clues, have some sort of redstone like combination code locks on doors and so on. So yeah, gamify it a bit.
We're really excited
like
about
it.
that. So thank you for
All right,
doing
guys.
this.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
And
guys. I gotta
and-
jump. Somebody booked me for a meeting in 4 minutes from the teams, so I gotta roll.
that it's all right. I'll see you in a bit.
Efforts. All right, but yeah, you guys rule. And STC, nice to meet you. Stealth Smith. I can say it. I can't. Stealth Smith.
I almost can't say it, so don't worry.
All right, cool. It's good to meet you too, man. And
Yeah.
we'll Gary. Also, it's great to meet you on the show officially. Hi, the guy who works with me every day. Okay, goodbye.
So we're gonna do the same thing. Small Town Cowboy already has a Journeys episode. We're probably gonna bring back season 2 of these once we get through them all, because there's just so many communities and so many great builds. We're also starting to populate the blog with great builds and images and things like that. The first one was actually of the Crypto Writer crew who built out Shift City. And it was with Sean. So we're looking forward to getting a Stealth Smith and Sean on the Journey show, as well as maybe Gary and myself and Seth to do one for the Boyd show, and Small Town Cowboy. We're looking forward to getting a blog out there from you guys at Lad City. We just want to populate this. Which masterminds thought of this? I mean, I guess the original thought was Corey. He was the founder of the whole concept of using Minecraft as a layer for a metaverse, which masterminds thought of like how to put it together. There's a whole team of brilliant people with different specializations. Gary below me happens to be one of them, and these guys are just awesome. They're really fun to work with, and of course, it wouldn't be what it is without amazing builds. So this is our roundtable. It's kind of the first one that we're going to do on this topic, entitled "Great Cities That Uplift." I want to do more. I want to do, because there's other great builds that don't fit into the city areas. So any of you guys out there in the comments or watching this back later, please hit me up, tag me in the Uplift channel or the Crypto Writer channel. that you want to be featured in one of our blogs at the very least, and we're more than happy to show off your skills. Now that you see what kind of skills we have in the uplift, because there's, you know, there were 4 amazing builders on the screen, and that was just 4 plots. Gary, how many? I can't even remember. Like, between the rails, how many sections are there? How many community plots were there? There were 25, right?
30,
30,
25
right?
or 30, something like that. Yeah.
Right. So that's like one of 3 worlds that has community plots. Now, granted, these ones are the creative worlds. There are survival worlds as well. But yeah, like you can just see the potential here. So thank you, you know, the 3 of you, and the 2 people that laughed, and bless you. My beautiful missus. This mic picks up everything, and thank you, you know, for all of the amazing things that you've done, and just please come back anytime and show us off your builds, and I'm just blown away, right? Like, you know, Sean was giving me a little bit of shade in the thing. Like, I built an underground city, and Gary's seen it. It's pretty cool, but it's not a fucking city. It'll never be a fucking city, because I don't know how the hell you guys do this. Right?
I was just going to say, Jimmy, we need to visit the mini city you built underneath the sea on Generous.
Yeah. We're gonna do it for sure. I mean, the best city parts come from our mutual friend SUFG. But yeah, I mean, if there's anything you guys want to wrap up with, please shoot.
I would say thank you for giving us the opportunity to show our work, and I hope to show a lot of the other amazing builders on this world.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I know a lot of you other guys. I've been to a lot of your plots before, and they really push me, because I go to someone, I think, oh man, look what these guys have built. Like, I've got to build this stuff as well. So I think we all kind of push each other to build better things and bigger, and yeah, it's really great. I like exploring other people's plots.
Yeah, I'm totally the same. You know, I love flying around other people's plots and just looking at there's little bits, you know, on other plots just catch your eye, and you think, oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm not going to copy it completely, but I can turn that into something else.
Yep.
But also, just being involved in this whole environment as well has made me look at the world slightly, the real world slightly differently as well. Walking down the street, and I'm constantly looking at buildings going, how can I do that in Minecraft? You know? So, good. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, it's been great.
So just before we go, I want to address this. Thank you and welcome, Try and Die, because it seems like you're new to this community, and we're super happy to have you. Super happy to have you interacting in the space and asking the questions that you do. So there would be a future where you can claim lands as an NFT. Well, that feature actually already exists. I mean, all of the lands that you saw are NFTs. The central cities were given out to these communities when we basically spun this idea up, and these builders came in, you know, as part of those communities and built up these kind of hubs that will then be used by the community. But these are NFTs. So there's surrounding plots that are 50 by 50. The community plots are 250 by 250, and on other servers as well. All land is represented by an NFT. So, I mean, if I don't think this will ever happen, but if any one of these builders decided that they wanted to put that plot on the market, then another person will buy it. And this goes for all of the builds. And basically, the purchase of that NFT grants you unlimited building rights to that plot of land in wherever you happen to be. And, you know, you can whitelist other builders. But yeah, that land belongs to you and only you. And that's the difference, I guess, between regular Minecraft and what we do here at the Uplift World Metaverse is we have figured out a way to, you know, connect people and give people rights without fear of, you know, having things being destroyed. And so there's a lot of ideas that we're playing around with and we're constantly in discussion with. And as Gary knows, sometimes there's even like ideas like on the internal that we're just like different people have different perspectives. So this is a grand experiment. And I must say, like, one of the most exciting things that I've ever been a part of, because I'm kind of new to Minecraft myself. But I just I'm happy every day to be working with people like Gary and people like Corey, but also just to be a part of like these amazing builds that I don't even know how they're done, right? Like I love doing the Journey show with Cowie, which we have an episode with you, Small Town Cowboy, just because like this stuff amazes me, right? Like it's just like, how do you do that, right? It forces me to go out and learn and figure it out, right? Like you're sitting here today with some of the most talented builders, in my opinion, maybe in all of Minecraft. And I just really happy that you guys are coming out and representing, what you do best in our world, because we're just really lucky to have you all.
Thank you.
And don't forget, we're working on. Sorry, go ahead. We're working on land rewards as well.
Hmm.
So it's not just owning building rights. You're also going to get rewarded for visitors.
Yeah, so we have plugins for Upliftium and Wax that are kind of being tested. They're in the testing phase. So at some point, every time you're wandering around and you're looking at these great cities, you will have small micro drops of either Wax or Upliftium into your account, and of course, like some of that profit share also goes back to the communities themselves. So
correct.
Some of these hubs that you saw today. Just imagine that if there's even 500 people on that hub at one time, people walking around, interacting. We're working on other ideas, like voice proximity and things like that. There's a lot of metaverses out there. And I would say like our biggest bottleneck, other than what Corey was talking about before, but we do have a team working on that. But our biggest bottleneck is really that we're on Java, and everything else to me seems really good, because we have this already. We have this platform that's already essentially the biggest game in the world, right? Like the most players, the most people that are coming in. Some of you have probably been building for years. I know Gary has. That's a good question, Smith. How long were you building on Minecraft before you took on this endeavor?
Probably only a couple of years, maybe 3 or 4. So my brother is quite a bit younger than me. He's 10 years younger than me. So he used to go to high school, and him and some of his friends would get on and play Minecraft on the Xbox. And one day he invited me, and I thought, oh, why not? So I joined, and then I went from there. But a lot of the builds I used to do, I'd play in survival a lot. And I wouldn't show anyone, so I'd build them. And I think that's one of the best things about this is people can come and see it, and I get to display some things that I'm building, which is really cool.
Yeah, one of the first shows that Corey and I did on our channel was actually with Jonah of Atomic Assets, and he was saying like he used to be a big Minecrafter, and we just showed him the cathedral because we were just at the beginning of our journey with this, we let him put up a gratitude monument, as we do regularly on our show. And he was just like, the best part about this is like, I used to build in Minecraft. I used to build these amazing things, but nobody ever freaking saw it. Right. And so like, right to your tune, what you're saying, right? Like now, I mean, you're being shouted out. Like, seriously, you're the only person in the Crypto Writer channel that Sean is nice to. Like, how does that happen? I
don't know.
So I'm pretty sure I just threw you under the bus now, because now like Sean doesn't like to be called out, so now he's going to be really mean to you for the next week.
Yeah,
so I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's all right. I'll put signs about him all around the city.
Right. Small Town Cowboy. How about you? Were you a builder previous, or is this kind of your first?
No, this is really my first. I was looking for something to do at the start of the pandemic, and a friend of mine had pointed me towards my metaverse, because I've always had this interest in crypto and NFTs. So I liked, what they were trying to do there, but that's a survival world, and I've run my own server for a while, but again, it was just for my own personal benefit. Nobody got to sort it, but it's the creative mode that that really took me. So to hear about the Uplifting, you got that opportunity to build in creative, no restrictions, but also with that little bit of added pressure, you're building because people are going to see what you're doing as well. So for me, it's maybe raised my game, maybe slightly as well. But also I'm now at a stage where it's such a welcoming community in the Uplift that I like paying it forward now. So if anybody wants to hit me up in game, you've got my username, same username on Discord, Telegram. Give me a shout and I'll come along and give you a hand.
Yeah, and genuinely, like, one of the nicest people that I've ever met in the space. I really enjoy everything that you stand for, actually. So, I met you before, but Corey's sentiments earlier as well for me. I mean, it was an amazing opportunity to meet people like you and everyone on this channel. And finally, maybe we'll end with this, Gary, who has actually become a really good friend of mine, over the various projects that we worked on together. Just like a brilliant mind in general. I'm just kind of curious, Gary, like, how long has it been since you've been playing Minecraft and you've been doing this stuff?
It's been a while. I've been doing cities for a while. In fact, I feel like the 250 by 250 we were given is too small. You can't do that much on it. So we need much bigger plots to build, really, really big. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I've been doing it for a couple of years, just like Smith.
See, for this is amazing to me because I've been doing it for right. It's tough to say Stealth Smith. I'm just gonna call him Smithy.
But you got initiated into Minecraft the hardest possible way. Someone gave you an ocean plot.
Yeah.
Not even an ocean plot. Someone gave him an ocean plot and a 2D picture and said, "Make this." Right? But yeah. So I think this is just amazing for me to think about because it's been. Well, I remember the day that Corey and I had been doing the show. It used to be called EOSIO Weekly, when we been doing it one day a week, basically for a few months. And one day he came to me and he said, "Hey, can we just put gratitudes up in the metaverse?" It wasn't really a metaverse at that time, in this cathedral. And he's like, "I just think that this would be a really good idea, and I just want to do it at the beginning of all of our shows." And I was like, I don't know, man. It's gonna be it's gonna kind of be I don't know. I don't know if that's something that we really want to do, right? We're EOSIO people. We have a show called EOSIO Weekly, and is this really? And he's like, "Dude, just give me a month. Just give me 3 weeks, and I'll prove to you that this is a thing." 3 days later, I was mailing him. I'm like, "This is a thing. We're gonna do this. Let's do it, right?" Because it just builds this amazing community, and that was kind of when I started playing Minecraft. And I got granted a community plot, like Gary said earlier, that was under the ocean. And like STC said, I had to figure it. Yeah, it still is, right? Right? It was actually, I think my plot was supposed to be over by Crypto Rider, but then it would have been an ocean in the middle of something else. So we had to reorganize it when we made the move. But I think that as STC said, I just kind of learned because I was here and I had to, and we were doing these streams, and this was such a big part of it. So what you created, STC, in the same amount of time that I've essentially been playing, is amazing to me. But even what Smithy and Gary have done, just after 2 years, it just blows my mind because I can't even comprehend it, right? And I'm so there's so many people in the comments right now. That have just done amazing things. Yaogi, it's a great builder. He's working with a team that is doing some amazing things. Morton's here every day. He's in the game. There's so many amazing people that we really want to feature. So thank you all for making us look freaking awesome. Because you really do, right? The cathedral is brilliant. Some of the old world builds are brilliant. But I'm just really excited to kick off this kind of maybe reoccurring series where we can look at just amazing builds. So thank you all for coming, and please thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time next week on the crypto roundtable. And I guess this is where I do the chop.